His book is mostly built around the idea that what like woke liberals believe is that any disparity between demographics must indicate discrimination, right? This is a very common argument from conservatives, though. I don't think I know anyone on the left, at least anyone serious, who actually believes this.
It's an interesting mirror to the conservative belief, which is that disparities must be caused by the inherent nature of
here is that he creates what I think is a straw man, where he says liberals believe that every disparity is discrimination. Now, even if you believe that that's what liberals believe, you can say that's wrong without adopting his position.
So if you don't listen to left-wing critiques of right-wing ideas, you're essentially playing tennis with the net down, right? You have to be able to listen and consider left-wing critiques of right-wing ideas, or you're just in a bubble, right? You're not mature. You truly lack sufficient confidence in your own abilities to understand things, and resorting to living in a fantasy world if you can't stand up to listening to critiques of what you hold sacred. And this podcast, left-wing podcast, If Books Could Kill, right? They do an excellent job often of critiquing right-wing tropes.
Which is basically any disparity is justified and pre-exist and is the will of God.
It's also going to be very funny noticing the parallels between this and Yasha Monk, who's like allegedly this kind of serious center-left person. His definition of woke also had this like tripartite structure, like the three legs of the stool or whatever.
Yeah. When you can't provide like a clean definition of something, you have to be like, oh, it has three pillars. You just start like talking out your ass. Like, oh, it's not one thing. It's actually 5 elements.
It's actually a 10-minute sequence in a Terrence Malick movie where you're just sort of drifting through landscapes.
So this book has several components. I'm going to focus on the elements that are targeting the workplace.
Okay.
We start off with an anecdote about the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He tells the story of how originally the law only forbid discrimination based on race, color, national origin, and religion. The reason that sex was added to that list was because an opponent of the bill, Howard Smith, proposed it as an amendment. Smith was an opponent of the bill. He was adding gender in order to undermine its likelihood of passage.